I'm a supporter of President Donald Trump. Voted for him in this election and the last, and the one prior to that. However, President Trump is about to allow JBS, the world's most corrupt beef organization, to become publicly traded in America. President Donald Trump will be the president that allows for the complete destruction of the small, independent family farms and cattle ranches.
Since they didn't learn their lesson during the last term, farmers are once again fucking around and finding out. And of course, who gave him a platform to share his feelings? Democrat Cory Booker. Say Brazilian giant JBS has a well-documented history of major corruption, bribery, price-fixing, child labor violations, environmental destruction, and other serious offenses. The Trump administration should protect America's farmers and consumers and not allow JBS to become a publicly traded company in our country. And we all warned you, we all tried to tell you, Donald Trump does not care about the average American. He does not care about the small family farmer especially.
Welcome to Truth Be Heard Unfiltered, where we serve the truth straight, no chaser. Today's episode, well, let's just say, a tale of farmers who thought they'd hit the jackpot by voting for Trump, only to find themselves in a financial drought. Grab some popcorn, folks. This one's a doozy.
We are possibly going to lose our farm.
Oh, so I guess the song is true. Old MacDonald had a farm. That really sucks that this is happening. If only there had been like a group of people warning that this is what was coming, or if only the current administration had been honest about what their plans were. Oh, wait.
If you're wondering where all these South Africans are going to go, don't worry. They already had a plan in place, and it was called Acre Trader. That's right. They already took the farmland from farmers who were failing. As a matter of fact, they have about 40,000 acres of farmland that they took from American farmers because they wouldn't give them subsidies. Acre Trader is an American real estate investment company that specializes in farmland. It says here that the company aims to increase investor access to real estate assets and provides capitals to farmers and growers to expand their business. But what they failed to leave out here is that the first investor into Acre Trader was none other than J.D. Vance. You know J.D. Vance, the one who was in charge of the White House with the president who is cutting all the subsidies to the farmers? Yeah, that J.D. Vance. And what they also failed to mention is the fact that the people who were investing, yeah, they were South Africaners. And guess who just came to America to go on these farms? That's right. You guessed it. Are you sick of it yet? Are you sick of it yet? $880 billion being pulled from Medicaid so they can fund tax money going to the rich. Your farmland being taken away from American farmers and being given to South African refugees. People being human trafficked all over the United States and outside of this country for financial gain. Minimum wage is $7.25. Hasn't been raised since 2009. You can't afford health care. You can't afford your car insurance. You're probably not going to be able to buy a home anytime soon. And grocery prices are through the roof. And guess who's going to own your food now? The People's Sick Day is coming. It's going to be a 1 to 3 day collection of people who are going to take back their power by setting down. No more showing up for work when you're making peanuts and they're giving away your farmland to foreigners. You better join us, because unless we stand up, none of us are going to win this fight.
Trump 3 times.
How do you feel about your vote for Donald Trump now?
Well, I feel like perhaps I should have considered some other options.
The past 2 years, Jim has been selling honey to the federal government, which then provides it to schools and food banks. But after Donald Trump took office, the USDA cut those programs suddenly as part of the federal government's effort to streamline spending.
For a lot of other local farmers around here, it was a major source of reliable revenue. For me, it's going to cost me around $150,000 a year.
$150,000?
Yeah, roughly 50% of my revenue.
That's a huge hit.
That's a massive hit.
Maybe y'all saw the news out of Nebraska today. Apparently our entire state is going to go bankrupt in 2 quarters. Me and my husband owned a cattle ranch here, and I can confirm that all of the cattle ranchers here overwhelmingly voted for Trump. We support him. We voted for him. Something like 70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore. They have all either fled the country, fled the state. They don't want to get raided while at work, so they have just moved on to work somewhere else.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put my 2 cents in it. How about y'all round up your own posse, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, and get y'all ass out there and milk some cows or pick that cotton, produce. The freak?
And straight up, we are gonna go bankrupt now. We are gonna go bankrupt, and we voted. We knew that the immigrants would get deported, and he was coming after immigrants. Yet we still voted for it. Overwhelmingly voted for our own demise. I was talking to my husband last night, and I have to admit that it seems a bit foolish now when you think about it like that we voted for something that is now putting us directly out of business.
I'm a 6th-generation farmer from Newport, Arkansas. I grew up farming next to my parents, who are here today. I have, in their retirement for the past 10 years, been the primary operator of our farm, which is 2,000 acres of soybeans, corn, rice, and wheat. But what I should say today is that I used to be a 6th-generation farmer. In February, we made the decision to close our farm. We joined many other farming families making this heartbreaking choice to avoid significant financial strain, financial hardship before it was too late. Many more families like mine will make similarly hard choices this month, in the next few weeks. The ag economy is the worst it has been since the farm crisis of 1980, when the U.S. lost 1 in every 4 farms. And that's because the price we're paying for the crop we produce is so low, and the cost to produce that crop is so high that not a single commodity crop in Arkansas is profitable for farmers. Because agriculture is such an important economic driver in the United States, and because food production is a national security issue, the government steps in tough times to help farmers. Yesterday, I watched strangers pull away my tillage equipment. They drove my tractors away, my combines. They loaded my power units and my fuel tanks onto trailers. Today, as I stand here, people are picking up the very last pieces of 6 generations of farming. And the people that we elected to protect us are eating in a ballroom with $7,000 a plate. I don't care whether you have an R or a D next to your name. I have no use for politicians that play dress up in cowboy boots and say they care about farmers and then do nothing in our hour of need. I don't necessarily have an ask for the people here, but I think y'all should know what's happening in farm country in Arkansas. And I
Now in 2024, rural America handed Trump a victory, believing his promises would bring prosperity to their fields. Fast forward to 2025, and many are watching their livelihoods wither away. From canceled USDA programs and trade wars to no more farm hands to harvest their crops, which left their crops unsold. The fallout is real, people. The fallout is real.
Is this thing on? Yeah, it's time to talk about it. So farmers in America are starting to regret their votes for Trump. So I saw this video that popped up on TikTok, and this lady said that she's worked with farmers for the longest time, like she's a builder or something. And she made the greatest point possible. She said farmers are not dumb by far. She was saying like all of the chemicals to use and not use to grow vegetables and things on the farms, how to feed the animals, the right feed for the animals, everything you need to know to make sure that your farm is running properly and productively. Then she goes on to say that you know how much research it takes to run a farm? And that brings me to my point. They chose not to do their research on Donald Trump, and now they're suffering. They voted against their own best interest, and they voted because they didn't think it was going to affect them. They voted to affect other people. You're going to take this one on the chin, farmers.
I need your help to save my farm and many other farms.
Donald Trump specifically said he was going to go after low-hanging fruit. You just didn't think you were low-hanging fruit, and it turns out you are. And now you have entered into a contract with the government where you agreed to do a bunch of work and they were going to reimburse you for it to improve your farmland for future generations. The Inflation Reduction Act gave you that opportunity, and you took it. I would have too. And now the man who's known for going back on contracts and refusing to pay for work that's already been done is doing that to you, the man you voted for. So you were fine when he was talking about removing the civil rights of women and trans people, trampling on the freedoms of immigrants. You were fine with that because it wasn't going to affect you. And you didn't believe that they were going to implement Project 2025. In fact, maybe you didn't read it because pages 294 through 310 talked specifically about how they were going to fuck you. Either you didn't believe it, you didn't take the time to read it, or you just thought everybody that was complaining about Trump and his plans and his policies were just, being crybabies? Or maybe you thought those people deserved what was going to happen to them. I don't know. But now it's happening to you. And so I would think that right now is a good time for you to admit that you were wrong and maybe apologize. Because there are a lot of people that are going to be hurt by the things that you voted for and cheered on. And now you're one of them. And I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry that's happening to you. I don't wish it on you. But I do hope that you have the courage to say I was wrong and this guy's a piece of shit. Imagine the type of coalition we could build if people had the courage to admit they were wrong and join hands with the people who were scared originally. We might be able to do something about this.
Now this just popped up in my head and I gotta ask it. And this is geared towards y'all palm-colored farmers. Now I know not all of you are like this, but I guarantee you the majority of you are. So answer me this. Why in Sam Dickens do you let good edible produce just go to waste? Why not open your farms up to the public so you can feed your neighborhood, your city, your county, your country, and to help you heartless, greedy mofos out? Okay, that wasn't nice. You can charge a small fee to enter your farm, or per bag, or both. The freak? Now that you've fallen off your high horse, it's time to walk the rest of the way, just like everybody else.
Rick Ekman says in the 3 days after the tariffs, cattle futures dropped below the point of break-even for his farm.
Never had him do this before.
Yeah, he really likes you.
No.
Did you vote for Trump?
No. No, I did not.
Why not?
You want me to be truthful? I think to get to where he's at today, he's stepped on people and he's got no morals, I don't think. I don't like the man. I don't like him.
Why do you think so many of your neighbors do support him?
I don't know. I guess I don't see anything good about him.
Does it affect the way you think about America?
It scares me.
I don't care. I don't fucking care. All these videos on this app about how in 3 weeks the grocery stores are going to be empty, good. Fucking let that fucking play out. Okay, take some precautions, but let that shit play out. Farmers on this app boo-hooing because they're losing their farms, fuck all the way off. What did you think was going to happen? Joe Biden bailed you out, then you turned around and voted for Trump. So yeah, I'm glad that all your government grants and bailouts and farmer welfare got taken away from you. And I hope to God a Democrat buys your land and is profitable. Truckers. Oh my God, the amount of truckers on my algorithm right now boo-hooing that they don't have any loads, which by the way, at first is kind of funny. But what? 90% of you voted for this. What the fuck did you think was going to happen when he tariffed the whole world and there was going to be no product to move around the country? Hello? Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm scared to death of the fucking shitstorm that we are all about to fucking walk through. And the longevity of those empty shelves fucking keeps me up at night. But the only thing that keeps me going is that any day.
So to all the farmers out there who thought they struck gold, turns out you mined a heap of fool's gold. This is Truth Be Heard Unfiltered, reminding you that sometimes the harvest you reap is the one you sow.
Listen, we fucked up.